Okay. Okay, good evening. I have 6 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. We're starting tonight at 6 o'clock for a public hearing related to our bargaining process. It's going to start with the teachers union next week. So I wanted, just for awareness sake, there are several different types of meetings we do as a school board. A public hearing is one. It's a little less structured, and I would say the majority of the agenda is meant for public to give us information, okay? Because there are a large number of you here, which we very much appreciate, which means we will get lots of information, so we like that. We are going to ask that people stick to the 3 minutes just to make sure we get through as many people as we possibly can, okay? The other types of meetings, we have our regular board meeting. That'll take place at 6:30 tonight. Just remind everybody, you can also come and speak at a board meeting. You will also get 3 minutes. In that case, though, you do sign up before the board meeting on a piece of paper at the door, okay? We also have board work sessions, which we've been having recently, mostly focused on policy revisions. Public is also allowed to attend those, okay? And they are now on YouTube as well. And we invite your input at those also, okay? The only type of board meeting where public is not invited is our executive sessions, and that's by legislation. There are a few things that we would do in private. Examples might include expulsion hearings or Dr. Phillips' performance review, for example. Anything related to personnel-specific people, that's held in private. So. Again, we don't do these very often. I just wanted to level set kind of the tone for the meeting, and we'll go ahead and get started. I don't gavel because we're not making decisions here or anything like that, so we're not gaveling in and out, but I do want to point out we do have a quorum here. All 7 board members are present. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Wielden. So this hearing is for the purposes of the board hearing input from the public prior to the beginning of the collective bargaining process. I think we have our first meeting scheduled for September 17th is when we'll officially sit down and start bargaining with the Teachers Association. And so these comments during this period are specific to that input. And then again, anything related to the regular board meeting, we'll put the sign-up sheet out here in a few minutes. That's for the regular board meeting. So there are a lot of you here, and I don't know how many of you intend to speak. But if you are brave and you would like to go first, please step to the podium, introduce yourself, and what your relationship is to BCSC, student, parent, staff member, CEA president, and then feel free to share your comments.
Good evening, I'm Amy London. I am the president of the Columbus Educators Association, which is our teachers union. Okay, sorry, I'm used to my teacher voice. Anyway, I'm Amy London. I am president of the Teachers Association. I am the bargaining chair for representing the teachers side of our collective bargaining agreement. I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to introduce our bargaining team that's representing CEA. It's myself, Mandy Keel, if she wants to stand up in the audience. See, Mandy Keel, she's our vice president of CEA with Scott Rayburn. And Grace McDougall, but I don't think Grace is here this evening. Okay, she's new to our bargaining team this year. We wanted to make sure we included a teacher who was not as, I won't say old, because Mandy and Scott are not old, but not as seasoned as the rest of us. So like Dr. Phillips said, we start on the 17th, and we thank all of you for being here this evening, and I look forward to hearing anyone's public comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. London. I said thank you. I said thank you. Oh.
Hello, my name is Megan Hearn. I am the executive, I'm on the exec board for CEA. I'm the membership chair. I also teach Spanish at Columbus North High School, and I've been employed at BCSC now for 10 years. This is my 27th year teaching. So I'm not sure how many of you get the Indianapolis Star. However, yesterday they put out an article about how Forbes magazine ranks the best employers in Indiana for 2025. And this is something, the criteria for this is that you have to be a quote-unquote company of over 500 employees. And they hired a company called Statista to call over 160,000 employees nationwide and talk about things like, would you recommend this employer on a scale from 0 to 10? They were asked to evaluate their workplace based on criteria including wage parity, work culture, paths to professional advancement, and whether the employer takes action on serious issues such as sexual harassment, et cetera. And so in Indiana, they had two different lists. They had one where it was Indiana companies, but they might have a home base in another state. But then they also ranked it with Indiana companies who are based here, their home base is here in Indiana. And on that list of 31, BCSC sits at number 25. Now, of these companies that include education, healthcare, drugs and biotech, engineering, manufacturing, automotive, there are 10 education systems on here, and that includes colleges and universities and pre-K through 12. Only 4 of them are pre-K or K through 12. Of those 4, number 5 is Center Grove Community School Corp. Number 24 is Vigo County School Corp. Number 25 is Bartholomew Consolidated School Corp. And number 31 is Fort Wayne Community Schools. The point I bring up is what we're doing, the investment that we're making in our students, the investment that we're making in our teachers and our staff to maintain our, with the referendum where we're trying to keep our staff here, or that we're trying to attract really good staff from other places to come here, that's working. These changes that we're making, they're working, and it's noticeable nationwide in a magazine like Forbes. So I'm proud of what we do, and I like the fact that other people see what we do, and I think that we need to continue in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hearn. People wanted to applause, I can tell.
I am Pete Law, and I am a teacher at Mount Healthy Elementary and Smith Elementary, teaching music and performing arts. And if you would have asked me 15 years ago if I would have ever left my hometown of Hope as a teacher, I would have said, you're to go to Columbus. I would have laughed in your face. And I got to the point in my career where I was like, I need to do something different. I left, and BCSC was not in my plans of anything I'd written down. And after the last 7 years, I am very blessed to do what I do here, because I have been able to be the best teacher. I feel like I was great at Flower Cog Creek, but here I've been able to be excellent. And I give that a lot of credit to the staff and the administration that has supported me on that. And financially, I will say that I have been at this since 1997, and I have financially, being a teacher has probably not been the profession. I've always made the joke that I picked the most lucrative professions of being a public school teacher and an unemployed actor. So I really wanted to say to the administration and the school board that the referendum money has helped tremendously in my life. I feel like now I can actually breathe a little bit, but I feel like my whole life as a teacher, every time something happens, the bar moves, and then I have to try to work 10,000 times harder to get there. And that gets frustrating. I was told, get your master's degree and you're gonna make your money back, and then wait a minute, psych, we're not paying you anymore for that. Or move school districts and we'll pay your year's experience. No, we can't do that. And then it's just, life, utilities, taxes, going from $400 a year to $1,600 a year is a lot for a 125-year-old house. And I always think that everybody keeps on moving the bar while I'm trying to follow the rules and do the best I can as an educator to make the community better, help kids, because that's my goal, is to help kids. That's it. I'm not here to become famous. I'm here to help kids to achieve their own greatness, their own creativity, And I'm very lucky that I get to do that with the kids in this corporation. And I really hope that you take into consideration the face of the teacher that has had to struggle since 1997 on a teacher salary. And I don't have a double salary. I don't have a significant other to take care of me, but I just hope that you put that into consideration when you renegotiate the contract. And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Log.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Denise Sharp, and I currently serve as the Columbus North Band Booster President, as well as the co-booster president of the Sound and Spirit of Columbus. I am an alumni of the Sound of North, and I have been a proud parent in the program for 15 years. 4 of my children have already graduated, and I still have 3 currently involved. I cannot imagine my children's lives without this program. For them, and for so many others, band has been more than music. It has been a foundation for growth. The summer elementary band program is where their journeys began. It gave them, at such a young age, a true sense of purpose and belonging. Through band, they have learned responsibility, motivation, respect, inclusivity, and how to be supportive and serve as role models. 2 of my adult children are now staff and directors in band programs themselves, living proof that the lessons they learned here prepared them for the future. The summer programs from elementary through high school have given my children and countless others a safe place to grow, to express themselves, to build lasting friendships, and to discover their creativity. These programs are not just activities. They are essential to the future of students who love music and the performing arts in our community. I urge you to continue supporting and investing in these opportunities so that more students can experience the same life-changing impact my family has. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Anyone else want to speak? Thank you, Ms. Timbo.
Hi. My name is Claudia Thomas, and I'm a sophomore at North. I had a lot of ideas about how to go about speaking here. I was thinking about getting emotional and sympathetic, or maybe using inflammatory language to drastically exaggerate my cause, or maybe just being short and robotic and formulaic like an essay, but I can't do that because this means too much to me, and that's not how I am. The reason that I'm here today is to ask you to protect the funding for summer band programs. When I was a young girl, I dreaded summer band. I saw my brothers going every day, waking up that early in the summertime. That sounds awful, but I sucked it up and I went. And those 2 weeks of my first summer band program changed the way I viewed playing the trumpet forever and being a musician as a whole. It gave me pride for the music I was playing, going from a small elementary school band of 10-ish people to a collection of all of the musicians my age, and in a big group where we all had the same passion for music. It was exciting, it was real. And then going into middle school, I had the skills to play in an ensemble setting. I had the confidence to behave like a real musician because I felt like I had become a real musician. And that is why now I dedicate so much of my time to the trumpet, because I was shown that it doesn't have to be the thing that I do because my brothers did it or a natural rite of passage. It's a passion. It's something I look forward to and pride myself on. Now, as a high schooler in marching band, the feelings of pride and legitimacy I get from playing the trumpet are multiplied tenfold. Band camp is long, it's physically taxing, and takes 2 weeks out of my good summer break, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I complain about band camp. We all complain about band camp, but my groaning is always followed by a laugh, and aching legs from marching match with aching cheeks from smiling. Of course, band camp is enjoyable, but also necessary. Band camp is the only reason we end up able to compete with much bigger schools in the state, the only reason we come out with something we can be proud of. Sure, there's no threat present to marching band existing, but not being able to have the support that allows us to spend that crucial time in the summer learning vital skills and necessary discipline would undeniably cripple our show and leave us with a product we are significantly less proud of. I don't want to end up looking back at shows I had performed in and feel ashamed and feel like we fell short of the standard we had established, like we'd missed the mark. And so I ask now, please protect summer band programs. Please let us continue to dread, but ultimately love it so much every year. And let us come out with a show we're proud of every year. Let us discuss next year's band camp as a when, not an if. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Very well done.
Hello, my name is Addie Chenault, and I'm a member of the Sound and Spirit of Columbus. I have a 6-year-old sister who has dreamed of being in marching band ever since she saw my first performance. I am now a senior in high school, and she's still just as passionate. She's not the only one. So many kids look up to us and cannot wait to be a part of what we do. They deserve to experience it, but what if we don't receive the proper funding? Their dreams could be crushed. I remember being in my sister's shoes when we had 8th grade night. It's where 8th graders from Central and Northside get assigned a high school buddy in their section, and we can all perform together. We played a song called El Gato with them, and it came time to watch the halftime show, and I was in awe. I went home thinking, I cannot wait to get to do that. We still have 8th grade night, and it's become an awesome tradition in our program. Last year, my section had only 8 members. We now have 17. Majority of them are freshman marchers, and I still remember meeting them at 8th grade night. The shows we put on impact our community, and to kill our program by cutting funding when majority of our band consists of new members would not be ideal. These kids and the kids waiting to be in their shoes deserve to have this experience. So please do not rob them of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Have any other speakers tonight? Sure. I don't know what we're in for, but I'm very excited.
My name is Jack Kerr. I am a new graduate who just graduated this year of 2025. And marching band has been one of the best things that I could ever have hoped for. Originally, starting in 6th grade in Mooresville, North Carolina, I didn't want to do band because my experience with playing an instrument was not a very hopeful one. I started off playing by a sucky recorder, and I didn't know how to play it properly. So when my buddy came up to me asking if he wanted to join, I'm like, I'm not certain about this. I don't want to do this. But he said he just kept going and going until eventually I had to give in. And I'm so glad that I did. Seeing all of these faces around me in my section, seeing how happy they all are whenever we get off of the field from an awesome performance, even if the performance isn't great, if we have a great time, then that's all that we were really looking for. We're wanting to make sure that all of our performances are as top-notch as they can be, which is why we're always on the field working, whether we've got rain or just it's hot outside, because let's be honest, some of the heat can get to us, but we still push through it just because we all love this activity so much. Which is why it would really suck to see all of the newer people, all the new smiles that are going to come to band not be as big and as bright as what I experienced with my section and with all my seniors that I had around me. Because as a freshman, I didn't know what I was in for. But my seniors, they all gave me such good inspiration and such hope to live up to and possibly surpass. I'm not entirely certain if I ever did that, but I did the best that I could because I wanted the newer members of my section to see that we can always improve wherever we are. And I'm always still wanting to improve, and I'm wanting them to all improve. So please, if you could protect the summer funding for our band, this would mean the world to not just me, but to every single new band member, to every single current band member, and to every single band member that is going to come in the future. It would mean the whole world to every single band parent, here and in the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jill Collins. I work for cohort 27 at North, and then also have 3 kiddos in BCSC. One is in marching band, one is in middle school band, and I agree with everything that everyone has said previously, and I also wanted to state that, to my knowledge, I think that this is the only thing that actually combines North and East together as far as athletics or clubs, and so as a parent, it is awesome to see the 2 schools come together instead of compete against each other. So on top of everything that they learn and that they do, and I just think that that is a special piece that I think BCSC should cultivate and grow and not diminish. So
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Anyone else like to speak?
Hello, my name is Amanda Devine, and I'm just a band parent. My daughter, Isabella, is a junior. She's been in this since she was in 8th grade. And I wanted you to take a moment, and you see all these people right here. You might see them as just band parents. You might see them as just students. But what you guys don't see is we're a family. We all come together. We all support one another. We all support everyone else's kids. There are some kids in our program that don't have that support at home, but they do in our home. We have a student that almost lost her life, that I shall not name, and what saved her were the family that she made in the color guard. That's my daughter's in color guard, and in the band. Without them, I don't know if she'd be here. I don't think the school board realizes how much this impacts our students. Without music, this world is silent. We need this because these kids need this. When the school year is over, we are also sad because we have to go our separate ways. But when that band camp comes together, our whole family comes back together. We're together again just for a few short months. So we're more than just a band from 2 different schools with some band kids and some directors and some, we're a family. And I hope you guys realize that without our band program, our kids are going to be lost. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Devine.
Good evening. My name is Dina Bates. I am cohort 2026 administrative assistant at North High School. I have 3 children in the school system, my oldest being the drum major for Columbus North Sound and Spirit marching band. I do have an alto sax as my middle daughter, Charlotte, and I have a son in middle school band as well. I am also a bandy. I was drum major, played saxophone. I am from Madison, so I'm not from Columbus. However, Columbus has welcomed me, and I'm very thankful to be here. But what my point is, I'm a musician in this community. I play at my church. My children play at church. I couldn't imagine it being silent. A community service in the church, or even just when we have block parties downtown, being silent. That would be awful. And I realize money is hard to come by, but when you reduce the funding for the band, even in the summer, it's a very slippery slope, and I think it gets easier and easier to just keep taking that away. So I hope and pray that you would make this very important decision to continue funding the bands in the summer so that we can continue to have musicians in our community, not just as students, but as adults as well. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are at time, but just to give a warning, I will allow one more person to speak if anybody would like to come up. Okay. Can I say I have been on this board since 2020 timeframe, and this is the most people I've seen attend a hearing of any kind since COVID. And this is a much more positive reason to see people in this building than what we were talking about at that time. So I think I will speak on behalf of the board. I hope you all agree. It's very nice to see this many people here sharing with us what you'd like to see out of the bargaining process. There aren't many secrets in Columbus, Indiana, and so I did think that we probably would hear from band tonight. And so I did prepare a couple of things I wanted to share with this team. Of course, collective bargaining will happen next week, and I cannot make any promises on that, but I just did want to share a few words. BCSE does support the band programs, and earlier this year, the state did defund reimbursement for summer band. So that was not a BCSC decision, that was a state decision. I just want to make sure, I think I see a lot of nods, so it looks like people understand that, but just in case some people don't. We decided to hold our summer band program last year out of pocket. And we did that, and of course, collective bargaining, budgeting, all of these things need to occur, but I did want to highlight that this administration and this board does support band in many ways. We're buying new uniforms, we've allocated money for a new trailer, we of course did pay for last year's summer program, and we have added another band teacher. So I share those things only just for evidence of the support that we have for this program. Again, I just can't appreciate enough the amount of people that have shown up here tonight to let us know what this means to you. It really does influence decisions. So thank you very much. Have a good evening. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, but just appreciate you all. Okay. Hey, we will take like a 2-minute break just to let the room settle if anybody needs to step away for a second, but 2-minute break. We'll call it 3 minutes, to 6:35.